It felt like he grabbed 10 shards of glass and rubbed it in my eye.
These people have taken body modifications to another level.
I'm fully covered from head to toe.
They've sat through excruciating sessions.
My most painful procedure was my tongue split. 7 days of torment, my mouth just smelling like absolute death.
And some have gone badly wrong.
Unfortunately, my artist went too deep into my eyeball. You're not supposed to go blind at all.
But these non-conformists aren't here to blend in.
Being normal is a disease. That's not the way to me.
And they don't care what you think of them.
Poi io non mi sento in dovere di dovermi giustificare con nessuno, anche se...
These are 5 of the most extreme looks that you'll ever see. I bet none of your school teachers look like this.
At first, when they see me, children are afraid. The younger they are, the more afraid they will be.
And it's not difficult to see why. Sylvan is almost completely covered in tattoos.
I have the sole of my feet, I have both of my palms, all of my genitals, things on my mouth. On my head, there is a snake with wings.
But a look this extreme does not come cheap.
I have spent around 40,000, 45,000 euros maybe. I've done most of the work in a 4-year period. I'm passionate about tattoos and I never want to stop getting tattooed, getting covered.
Unsurprisingly, Sylvan can't go anywhere without drawing stares.
Human has a tendency to be cautious with things that they don't understand or that they don't know. I guess it's natural to judge me at first sight.
But he is considering taking things to a whole new level.
I have thought about getting my eyeballs tattooed, but it's too fresh as a process to be confident in it. It might go really well, but I might lose sight.
So for now, Sylvan is focused on making sure the rest of his body is as covered as it can be.
First, Romain will do all of the shades from the hip to the toes, and then he will add a bit of white on my arm and on my leg as well to enhance the muscle effect. Then I'm thinking about doing my tongue black, full black tongue.
And one thing's for sure, Sylvan gave up worrying about anyone else's opinion a long time ago.
The more I get tattooed, the happier I get, so it's the most important thing. I'm 33 now, I stopped taking care of what people think.
If the people stare, and the people stare, I really don't know, and I really don't care.
And if you thought that was extreme, meet 18-year-old Kiara.
Ho 6 impianti sottocutanei, gli occhi tatuati, una ventina di piercing, non lo so, non li conto.
A look this unique takes time, and Kiara started young.
Ho iniziato dilatandomi i lobi, sì, anche prima, forse poco prima di 11 anni, però da lì in poi ho iniziato a dilatarli parecchio, ho continuato a forarmi da sola per 3 anni.
And soon she wanted to try out more drastic modifications.
Questo qui in realtà l'ho fatto tagliando una grandezza del genere e ho dilatato successivamente fino a 3 cm e mezzo ora.
Kiara met her boyfriend when he carried out her septum piercing, and when they're out in public, they receive a lot of judgment.
Però a volte è anche bella la curiosità delle persone, fa anche piacere, poi dipende sempre come si rapportano.
Sì, spesso, ovunque vado capita che mi guarda la gente, ci sono volte in cui magari non ci faccio caso io, ci fa caso che mi sta intorno, però sì, è inevitabile che in qualsiasi posto in cui vada c'è sempre quello che indica, quello che parla.
Quello che scatta le foto di nascosto.
Sì, le foto di nascosto sono ecco una delle parti più brutte, che chiedimelo, non ti dico il no, però chiedimelo.
But the pair look set to keep pushing boundaries, and Kiara has never been happier with her look.
Ma il mio bisogno di modificarmi non è un bisogno dovuto alle attenzioni, al doversi far vedere a tutti i costi, è un bisogno strettamente personale. Poi io non mi sento in dovere di dovermi giustificare con nessuno, anche se lo devo.
Next up, we have another body modification queen, Amber.
If I was to put a number on how many tattoos that I have, I'd probably have to say about 200 tattoos.
And Amber clashed with her mum when she first started, at 16 years old.
From the start, she didn't like it. She grew more to the idea of when I turned 18 that I could get tattooed, but until then, I'm living under her roof, and that wasn't respectful.
But there was one tattoo Amber wanted that her mum just could not understand.
What do I think about my daughter's blue tattooed eyes? Where do I start? I cried. I said a few choice words, as anyone would do. What the hell are you thinking of? Why would you do that to yourself?
And the procedure went catastrophically wrong.
I can't even begin to describe to you what the feeling was like. The best thing I can give you is it felt like he grabbed 10 shards of glass and rubbed it in my eye. That happened 4 times per eye. That was pretty brutal. If your eyeball procedure is done correctly, you're not supposed to go blind at all. I was blind for 3 weeks.
As we know as a parent, some kids will just do what they want to do, regardless of what we say.
But Amber and her mum have come to an understanding.
I can't expect you to live your life through me or how I want to live my life, because it'll never make you who you are.
Thanks. I appreciate
So
that.
don't get me emotional. Man, it's all good.
And while her experience has put Amber off having any more extreme body modifications, she's not giving up on tattoos anytime soon.
My goal is to be completely covered by the time I'm 25. I'm 25 next March. So I'm on track. I'm doing pretty well so far.
From one tattoo addict to another, Ethan makes a big claim.
I am the world's youngest, most modified youth, at least for the moment.
And you wouldn't bet against him. When we met him in 2018, at just 22 years old, he'd had a lot of work done.
My body is about 75%, maybe 80% tattooed. I'd say the amount of procedures I've had for body modification would be around like 40 for the more extreme kind of stuff. My most painful body modification procedure was probably my tongue split. Not so much the actual procedure itself, but the aftermath. 7 days of torment, not being able to talk, not being able to eat or drink water for like 3 or 4 days, laying in bed, my mouth just smelling like absolute death from a rotting, healing tongue.
And fortunately for him, Ethan's girlfriend is into his look.
I've always known him with a lot of tattoos, and I've always been attracted to him with a lot of tattoos. That's just Ethan to me.
My partner's very accepting of what I've done or do to myself.
But there's one tattoo she's not so keen on.
My main thing is I don't like the stitches in his mouth, just because I'm personally afraid of clown demons.
And Ethan has had run-ins with his family through the years too.
When I got my eyeballs tattooed, my mum couldn't look at me for like a month without getting tears in her eyes. They've just kind of learned that, oh, he's going to do it anyway, so there's no point in trying to stop it or resent him for it. Still the same person.
But despite the negative reactions of passers-by,
sometimes you get people walking past shaking their head, being a bit condescending. On the rare occasion, you'll get someone say something out loud that's not too nice.
Ethan shows no sign of slowing down.
Being different's cool. It's not nice to live your life in the shadows, so just kind of express yourself, 100%. Do your thing.
And finally, here's Keith.
If I had to guess how many tattoos I had, I would probably say at least 600 or 700. I'm probably at about 98%.
With so much of his body covered, there are a few tattoos that stand out.
The most painful part of my body had to be my skull. It was ridiculous, like to a point to where I had to tap out, which I don't tap out, but that I had to do. The eyeball tattoo was, I wouldn't say painful at all. The most uncomfortable thing was just holding the lids open, and it could have affected my vision, but on the bright side, it didn't.
Keith's look is a result of his strong views on society.
Being normal is a disease. I feel like people are conditioned and rubbed and polished in to believe a certain way, to live a normal life, which is corporate life. Get up, go to work, stuck in traffic every day. That's not the way to me.
And it's no surprise he feels the way he does, when he is wrongly stereotyped so often.
I would say the common misconception that people have towards me is that they automatically assume I'm a drug dealer or came from prison or a rapper. I'm a baker and a father to 3 kids and a beautiful wife.
And the negativity surrounding Keith can be relentless.
I can feel the prejudice, I can feel the tension. For example, walking into a restaurant and everybody's staring. They have questions, but they don't want to come forward with them. I deal with judgment online almost every day, as if I do in public every day.
I don't think I'll ever follow in his footsteps and get tattoos. It makes me feel uncomfortable that people stare at us.
Luckily, his family are 100% supportive of him.
I wouldn't really see him any differently if he didn't have tattoos.
I feel people think that being heavily tattooed affects your ability to be able to provide for your family, and I highly disagree. He's phenomenal, Dad.
And Keith has a message for all his haters.
Get to know me before you judge. I'm a nice guy, so just come to me. I'll be more than happy to educate you on a sense of self. I live with no regrets. Not at the present moment, no regrets, and if I could do it again, I would.